Class of learning. Today we will work it out class 12 poetry. Now the an elementary school classroom is now. This is one of the most important poetry in class 12. अच्छा आपने इसमें करना क्या? What are the basic things that you people need to clear in your mind before working out this poetry? तो याद रखेंगे, as we know that is a Stephen Spender poetry. Yeah, definitely he tried to mention the class inequality and the poverty through this पोएट्री. अच्छा, इस पोएट्री में कई चीज ऐसी हैं जो हर स्टूडेंट को शुरू से आखिर तक वर्कआउट करनी थी. सच एज द ways, exactly the ways we are talking about. Ways, that ways, what does mean by this? Let's start the poetry. First half, far far from gusty waves. I'm talking about this wave only. Far far from gusty waves these children faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn down their pallor, the tall girl with her weighted down head. I repeat, the tall girl with her weighted down head, the paper-seeing boy with the rat's eyes, the stern, unlucky hair of twisted moths, reciting a Father Garnet disease, his lesson from his desk at the back of dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of skills game in the tree room other than this. This paragraph is the very first paragraph of the poetry of your course. Now, अब आपने इस पैराग्राफ में क्या करना है? You need to check this paragraph. This is something very important that will help you to grab the poetry in real sense. There is a certain question that I am going to give while working out each and every paragraph in a certain manner. पहले क्लियर करते हैं. First up, what does gusty waves means? अगर आप ध्यान रखेंगे तो पोएट्री का सबसे पहला पार्ट हम लोगों को जाना जरूरी है. That what does these gusty waves means? It means a powerful burst. I repeat, it means a powerful burst. Now it implies energetic children. Those are very strong financially. Those having everything that was being needed. तो पहला क्वेश्चन हमारे पास है, what does mean the gusty waves and how they can be impacted? So the gusty waves refers to the powerful burst. Means the waves those come from the financially solid kids. Those are going to good public schools. Then second question, why are the children compared to the rootless weeds? This is something very important. आप ध्यान रखेंगे, इस टॉपिक को आपको क्लियर करना है. Why are the children compared to rootless weeds? They are ill-fed and not looked after. Exactly, they are ill-fed and not looked after. They are unwanted like weeds. We are talking about the poor kids, those studying in these slum schools. And then move up to the next question. How do child's eye live in a dream? The last lines of the first paragraph. The last line of the first paragraph, where you says, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream. That question, how do a child eyes live in a dream? The child desire is to be skills playing. Listen carefully, this is something very important. हम हर उस बच्चे की बात कर रहे हैं जो क्लास में बाहर देख रहा होता है, खिड़की के बाहर देख रहा है, वो स्किल्स गेम को ध्यान से देख रहा है. Now, the child desire is to be skills playing in a hollow tree, which ironically, listen carefully, this is something very important, which ironically reflects his current life, because he was being fed up of the real world. Now it also suggested to the world of dream that he lives in. He is mentally ill. Exactly, he is mentally ill according to the poet. You need to work out the basic message of the poet, what he trying to give in the last two lines. I do repeat the lines again, listen carefully. One unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of skills game in the tea room other than this. Then jump up the next paragraph, number 2. This is something very important. We need to clear this paragraph. On soft cream was donation Shakespeare had. Listen carefully, this paragraph is really very important. अगर आप इस पोएट्री को ढंग से करते हैं तो एक क्वेश्चन पक्का आएगा इसमें से. Now on soft cream was donation Shakespeare had, cloudless at dawn, civilized dawn, riding all cities. Bell Friley toss a valley, open-headed map, awarding the world its word. Check this line, this is something very important. Awarding the world its word, and yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. Where all their future painted with fog, a narrow street sealed at weed-lit sky. Far, far, I repeat, far, far from rivers, caves and stars or words. The very first question that comes in a paper for the students is, what are the things that lend a contrast to slum children and their environment? I repeat the question, listen carefully, this is something very important. What are the things that lend a contrast to the slum children and their environment? The answer is, the poet sees the life of slum children as far removed from what represents the school books. स्कूल बुक्स में उनकी लाइफ को शो नहीं किया गया, दे आर नॉट शोइंग देयर रियल लाइफ. And then says maps, photograph, Alpine Valley and bust of Shakespeare. Then there's a second question that comes: why Shakespeare is a bit and map is a bad example that you need to keep in mind while dealing with this poetry. The next question: why are these windows not opening the world for these children? Now, if education is supposed to open doors to windows of these worlds, surely it has failed in this case to liberate those children from restricted and improvised ones. Exactly, they are restricted and improvised lives. They are living their life in a particular health situation. They can't get out of it. And then jump up to the very next question: what are the words that imply a bleak future? What does it mean by the bleak future? Now, the future painted the fog, lead sky, far from rivers, caves and star words, imply a bleak future of these children. Then I repeat the same question that come in my mind while dealing with you, all of you. मैंने आपको अभी क्वेश्चन बोला था, why Shakespeare is a wicked and map is a bad example. Shakespeare is a wicked and map is a bad example because they are not showing the real world of these children. They are showing an imaginary world to these kids. आपको क्लियर करना है कि यहाँ पे उसने एक इमेजिनरी वर्ल्ड शो की है जो रियल लाइफ में उनको मिलता ही नहीं है. That is the reason Shakespeare is a wicked and the map is a bad example. And then there's the next two paragraphs that we need to work it out. Now, what are the narrow streets symbolic of? The next question: what are the narrow streets symbolic of? The narrow streets do not lead them to a better future. Narrow street, वो छोटी छोटी गलियां, गरीब बच्चे जहाँ रहते हैं ना, वहाँ एरिया आपको डिफाइन किया पॉइंट ने. The narrow roads do not lead to the better future, and these children are so removed as can be from beautiful and lighted world. The narrow street is symbolic of restricted lives, shrouded and desolations. That's true. Their life, it being telling you the real life they've been feeling, जिसको go through कर रहे हो लोग. That is something very important. We need to keep that in our mind. Next paragraph, the third paragraph, second last paragraph of the poetry. Surely Shakespeare wicked and the map is a bad example, with ships and sun love tempting them to steal, for lives that silently turn in cramped holes, from fog to endless night. On this slack heap, these children wear skins peep through the bones and spectacle of steeds, with mended glass like bottles bits of songs. All their time and space are foggy slum. So blot the map and slums as big as doom. You need to work out this one. Why is Shakespeare wicked and map is a bad example? The same question I have been repeating in the last paragraph. इसको ध्यान सुनेंगे. Answer is really very important for all of you. The study of Shakespeare is wicked because it tempts them to liberate. Tempts, exactly, it tempts them to liberate themselves from mundane life. So what does mean by the mundane life? The life that doesn't have any meaning. Mundane life. And कहते हैं the maps of foreign land are a bad example because they give children ideas of escape which for them was unattainable. ऐसा आइडिया मत दो जो attainable ही ना हो. तो याद रखना आपको that you need to mention that answer perfectly. And then jump to the next question. Mention the word that spells the physical ailment of the children. Which mention the physical ailment of the children. The answer is slack heap, skins peep through bones. Mention words that talk about their poverty. Listen carefully, this answer is really important. Mention the words that talk of their poverty. Spectacles of mended glass, their time and space and foggy slum, slag heap. Then, what does map represent? This question is really important. What does map represent? The answer is the map of the future that are irrespectively blotted by fate. It implies that the future holds little promise for them, and the fate has charted out a bleak path for them. Because it was foggy, now they are not able to see the future. They are not getting what their dues. And then jump on to the last paragraph, the most important paragraph of this poetry. दोबारा क्लियर करेंगे शुरू से कि आखिर तक यहाँ पे शुरू होता है. Unless governor, inspector, visitor. This is actually our approach, our appeal. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes a window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Break, oh break, open till that break the town, and show the children of Greenfield and their world. Run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run net into books, the white and the green leaves open. History is theirs whose language the sun. Remember this line. History is theirs whose language is the sun. The first question, how does he view the liberated children? How does he? Stephen Spence. Now, view the liberated children. He imagines the liberated children running on a goats and delving into the books. Those who study will make their future. And then there's a question. With the words bake or break, what does the poet seem to say? He desperately wants the children should break out these catacombs. Nikle yahan se. They want to get out of it. And then says, how does the word catacombs assume significance? The catacombs are burial chambers. तो कॉफिन होता है जहाँ बॉडी को दफनाते हैं. Now, the catacombs are the burial chambers implying the near death existence of these children. Exactly, near existence of these children. अब आपको शुरू से लेकर आखिर तक इस पोएट्री को समझना है. What are the basic things that been mentioned by Stephen Spencer? उसने अपील की अथॉरिटी से, गवर्नर से, इंस्पेक्टर से, come forward to help the children out. Those who are studying very hard to work out this poetry, as this is one of the most important poetry of class 12 students, along with the Stephen Spencer editions. उनको इस पोएट्री को पूरा समझना है. What poet trying to tell you? वो यहाँ बताना क्या चाहता है? He trying to mention the real problem of these children. Those who are studying in these schools. What are the basic comments and how can we rule out? आपको शुरू से आखिर तक पूरी explanation देखना है. I'll try to work out the complete poetry in this video lecture. If you like, do subscribe and share the video with the other people. And do work it out.